Hello, it's Mark from Cars and Cameras, and today we're going to take a look at the new Mac Mini. This is the M2 Pro model, the $1,200 base model. And we're going to take a look at it, and we're going to compare it up against a MacBook Air M2, which has these similar specs. And we're going to see how they compare up against each other. It's really interesting because this one has more ports, and you can see here this is the 16 gigabytes of RAM and 512 on the hard drive. Okay, so now I have everything set up. We're going to see how these two machines can handle 8K footage for the Sony A7 R5, and this is H.265 footage. It's the most complicated codec to edit with, but that's what I wanted to do. Is I wanted to stress these machines to the max and see what they can do. So here we're playing it back on the MacBook Air, and it's doing an okay job when you just play back the footage. So if you're just doing simple cuts, it's fine. Also, I do have this on the better quality, and I'll talk more about that setting in a little bit. But here we are looking at it on the new Mac Mini Pro, and it plays it back great. There's no problems there. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look. Now I preset these up already, pre-rendered these, and we're just going to go ahead and play them back. So what I did is I did a 200% crop in on this, and you can see here the MacBook Air is struggling with this. So let's go ahead and pull up the next clip and see how the Mac Mini Pro can handle this. So here is the same thing. I preset this up, pre-rendered it, and let's go ahead and play it back and see how the Mac Mini Pro can do this. Okay, it seems like it's doing a much better job. It's very smooth, and let's go ahead and click on a quick full screen. I see just a little glitch there, but overall it's doing a much better job. I would say I could edit with this no problem. Okay, so let's go ahead and scrub on the timeline and see. So it's fine. There's no hanging up. Everything is good. So in our next clip, we're going to do a Ken Burns crop in, but we're going to show it in real time because we're going to take a look and see how long it takes to render it, and also while it's rendering if we can play it back. So now if we're going to try it on the MacBook Air M2 and see how it does. And let's go ahead and open up the window, and it's rendering, and I'm going to go ahead and play it back while it's rendering. And so while I do that, it's going to pause the rendering. We'll see the little pause come up there. Okay, it's paused, and let's see it play back. And okay, it is struggling a little bit. It's dropping frames. All right. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and let it render, and I'm going to speed this up. When it rendered, it took about 3 minutes for it to render this short little piece here, and well, that's quite a bit of time. I'm curious how fast it will do it on the Mac Mini Pro. And let's see once we play it back, and actually playing it back after it's rendered is actually having more of an issue. Now, I was talking earlier about the better quality and better performance, so let's see how it does with better performance. And it actually does a better job with better performance. It seems like you could get away with that on the M2 MacBook Air with the 8K footage with this codec, the H.265. So let's see what happens doing this with the this is the Mac Mini Pro. So let's see how fast, and the same thing. Wow, it is moving really quickly here. I mean, that is just taking seconds. So that's more like it. This is very similar performance to what you would see with the Mac Studio. Of course, the Mac Studio is still a little bit better. That's to be expected. It's about twice as much as this computer. Not quite twice as much, but pretty close. Anyway, so, and we are playing it back at the better quality. And let's see what happens here when we play it back. And there we go. The Mac Mini Pro is doing great with this. So so far, this is a great machine. This really is, for the money. You can't beat it, you know. I mean, obviously, it would be better if you paid for more storage, and that's where Apple gets you, is paying for the extra bucks for the storage. But there are external storage solutions. But let's see how fast it actually can do an export. So this is an 8K export, and of course, I speeded this up. And we'll see how long. So it took a little over 3 minutes for the Mac Mini Pro to export that 5-minute clip in 8K, and you can see there on the MacBook Air M2, it took 21 minutes. So what do we get out of this test? Well, what we get out of it is, we took a look at what H.265 can do. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, you know, it's H.265. It's hard to edit. Yeah, it's a complicated codec. But the thing is, H.265 is the future, and 8K is the future. So if you're looking at a new machine, you're going to want it to be able to do these types of tasks. So that's why I wanted to show in my test, that's what we were looking at. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this test. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.